All right, I think. I wonder if we're live now. Let's see. Yeah, it says we're live. Um, no comments and reaction from viewers on Facebook Live. Not all room participants may be able to see them. All right, we are going. What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 42 of the Designated Players Podcast. This is a live episode because why not? We've got only two of us. Adam is not feeling super well. Negative COVID test, thank goodness, but he decided to take the week off, which is all right. Because what we're going to do is we're going to do a normal episode, but it just feels wrong not to also include what's going on in Seattle versus Minnesota because it's the last game in the Western Conference for the big one before MLS Cup final. So if anybody's going to watch live with us, great. Come join us. Thanks for coming around. Leave comments. Let us know you're around. But we're just going to go do what we usually do. And that, of course, means we're starting off with Scarf of the Week. Connor might have something for us.
I think I might. I don't know.
He got? What's he got?
Might just have a little bit of a new scarf.
Oh, he had to pull Chicago out. What?
Yep.
I appreciate it. I do. Look at that. Man's got a Chicago Fire scarf. You know what that means? It means we got to go. Oh, that's really fresh, actually. I like that a lot. It's got the old logo,
Yep.
so that's why you got it for $6.
Oh, absolutely. I was not going to pay money for the new logo to be on there.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you at all. I am breaking out an old one that I haven't broken out in a little bit. Up the Mingos, baby. Forward Madison. Haven't broken this out in a little bit. I figured, yeah, let's go ahead and break it out and rock it for this game because I don't have any ties to really any team, Seattle or Minnesota. But we had a Twitter question ask what our predictions were. That Twitter question came from Vinod in Home. And I told him we'd make those predictions right now. So, what are you predicting here? It's Seattle, Minnesota. We saw the lineups. The lineups looking not as strong as usual for Seattle. You've got Alex Rodon playing right back instead of Leardom. Jovan Jones playing the wing, which isn't awful. Shane O'Neill over Arriaga. And then you've got the usual starting 11 for Minnesota. Now, I'd say Seattle's probably deeper. In terms of what they can do late in the game, but can Minnesota get an early start?
That's a really good question. I don't know, man. You can't ever kick Seattle out of a playoff game. They just know how to win these games. It's just every time. It doesn't matter. They could sneak in as the last seed. They can make it in on goal difference, and then they'll go and win the cup. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if they did it again here. And that would be, was that like 3 or 4 now?
It'd be like
this one.
Yeah, it'd be almost 4.
Yeah, which is just ridiculous. But I mean, that's a testament to their front office. They've done an amazing job just continuously rebuilding this team. We were talking about this a little bit before we started. Definitely feels like a high-scoring game is about to happen, which is going to be a lot of fun to watch. But now that we're predicting that, it's probably going to be like a 0-0 penalty shootout. I want to say oh man, this is a tough one. I feel like Seattle can hold Minnesota in the beginning, like keep them from scoring at least a lot. Maybe they'll give up one, and then that depth will help them to break through in the end. And I think they could win this. I'll say 3-2.
Interesting. All right, I'm just looking around here. I'm trying to see. We got 5 people hanging out with us. That's real cool. I'm trying to see if we can share the link, but I'm having trouble doing that. So we'll figure that out at some point. But I gotta back my Loons, man. I don't know if I know you didn't, but for anybody who has watched these guys play, even just in the playoffs, I don't really, regardless of what they did in season, in the playoffs, my goodness, Reynoso, Molino, Lod. That whole front attacking 3 is ridiculous. Reynoso makes everything look so easy. Molino seems like he just can't stop scoring. Man is just on a mission. And I can't count them out here, but I do agree it's going to be a super high scoring game. I'm gonna say something like 4-3. I think it's just gonna be absurd.
I was
So
tempted to say that also.
in before 0-0 into penalties.
Yeah, exactly. You know
Yeah,
what? Minnesota's got probably one of the most underrated midfields as well. Ozzy Alonso and Gregush. Oh my
big
goodness.
facts. Big facts. Yeah, no, I'm real hyped for it. Um, just because I think it's just going to be end to end for 90 minutes, and that's what we hope for, right? We don't want to see anything outside of that. So I really hope they're just going after it. But we're also going to talk about just some things that that have come up, because obviously it probably won't be end to end, but let's just assume that it is, right? So let's see if I share this link. Will it let anybody get in? No, that's a join room. I'm gonna get rid of that. So lots of transfer rumors, lots of coach rumors, and an MVP was awarded. Correct? That became
You
official
could say
today.
so.
That became official
I,
today.
I mean, I guess you can say that an MVP was awarded if you really
Yeah,
want.
something like that. Alejandro Pozuelo, center attacking mid out of Toronto, easily claims the MVP award this year. 9 goals, 10 assists in a very, very sketchy 2020, right? So really cool, really good for him. Like I said, not really shocked on it. So thoughts on the MVP race?
Felt like this was coming, honestly. Once they announced who was in the running, in my opinion, I thought it was going to come down to Pozuelo or Rossi. But I just felt like this was Pozuelo's to lose. Like it felt like he needed to win this one, and he did. And I have no arguments with it, honestly.
Yeah. I do hate how MLS says it's a 9:30 start, and then they probably won't kick off till that 9. Yeah, they won't kick off for another 20 minutes. So we're baffling for a little bit. I'm on the floor because my normal recording area is right there, and my TV is right here, and I can't watch and do that. But I've got a nice background of a tree with a scarf on it, so that's pretty neat.
That's your opinion of nice.
Yeah.
I think it looks pretty ugly.
I mean, listen, you don't have good taste. You just pulled out a Chicago Fire scarf, so.
Listen, it's a pretty nice Chicago Fire scarf, and it was like $4.
Listen, I get it. It was cheap and easy to go with, but
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to get one for each team in the league. So I figured for a Chicago scarf, one, I'd rather have the old logo, and two,
yeah,
it was a good deal.
that's facts. That's facts.
I have two other scarves as well, but I feel like I shouldn't, waste all my new scarves in one episode.
Nope, I get that. I feel that. I'm all about that. I said I am trying to just multitask here and see if I can share a link. I don't know how to share the link out of this thing, so um, we'll figure it out later. However, it is a little bit of time before then. So what do you want to talk about then?
Let's talk about some rumors going around, like some coaching stuff. I feel like I've been seeing a couple of coaching rumors going around.
You've only seen coaching rumors because your team is in the coaching rumors.
Well, I feel like there's been coaching rumors with Galaxy and Greg Vanney, and then there's Atlanta with Hines, and then there's DC with Chris Armas.
I think we should start with Greg Vanney leaving Toronto after maybe one of the best coaching tenures of all time, bar maybe Ziggy Schmidt, Brian Schmetzer, and Bruce Arena in LA. He's probably got the third best coaching record or resume of probably all time. And man just packed it up and said, yeah, I'm not challenged enough. This is too good. So I'm going to go to a team that isn't that good. And man has a possibility to go to LA Galaxy. Wild stuff. That would be a crazy move because LA has always been big name, big signing, which is what Toronto has been. But I'm very curious to see what he would do because they've always had that recently they've had that South American flair, right? The Pavones, Chicharito.
Yeah,
Outside of Zlatan, everything's been very, very. I'll say Atlanta-esque, right? But
yeah,
but he has never been in that boat. He's always had the Josies, the Bradley, Giovinco,
yeah.
that group, that type of player, right? So it'd be interesting to see how he fits in with the fan base there, if he goes there at all, right? That's not solidified, right?
Right. I do have a little news that I think you'll like very much. I I Googled MLS coach and I went to the news articles, and one of the top news articles that came up, it was an article that's posted on MLS's website. A certain name was linked with Toronto. You have any ideas of who it is?
Oh, Benny Ball. Benny Ball is going to Toronto, isn't
Benny
he?
Ball. Benny.
Yeah.
He may not. Benny Ball may not be dead.
Benny Ball never dies. Where have you been? Benny Ball never dies.
Benny
And
Ball in Toronto. Michael Bradley's going to be playing striker next year.
oh my God, please hook it to my veins.
And
I
then
genuinely
Frank's
would
going to bring him
love.
into the men's national team and play him at
I
striker.
think I think we're all just everybody needs Red Bull to win something. So Benny Ball in Toronto, Chris Armas keeping DC at the bottom. They're just
Yeah.
putting a graphic up right now. I talked about Bruce Arena being the best at LA. Brian Schmetzers and Ziggy Schmidt are the next two on the list. So the only one that isn't Vanny isn't there because it was most MLS Cups, and I think he's only got the one, right?
Yeah, but I mean,
But he did
that's
the
the
treble
that's the team that we rated as the best ever in history.
ever, right? Yeah. So there's Dominic Kinnear is on there and Frank Gallup's on there, but I still reckon that our good buddy Greg Vanny's up in that list. So talk about Atlanta. Talk about Atlanta looking at a few big names, aren't they?
I've only heard of the one. Uh, Maybe you can tell me who else you heard that's a big name.
Oh, we got a comment. Anderson Lopez, let's go Sounders. Kevin Roldan and Alex Roldan. All right, bud. I gotta back my loons, but it's 2v1 now. So they're showing some highlights of New England Columbus. We'll talk about that in a little bit as well. Maybe at halftime we'll chat about that just a little bit.
Oh
Um,
man, I am way behind you because I just got the MLS Cup titles
oh, did you really? My
graphic
goodness.
just popped up.
Oh, what a great goal that was. Mensah with the touch of a center mid, laying it right off in there. Um, yeah, so what was I going to
So
say?
Atlanta,
Oh,
Hines.
Atlanta. Yes, we're talking about Atlanta.
Yeah.
Um, Atlanta linked with a big name. Why don't you take it away from there?
Yeah. So I feel like I'll botch the pronunciation. I don't think it's like as American as I'm about to make it sound, but uh Gabriel Hines or Gabriel Hines, probably more
Gabriel.
likely that. Yeah. He was the coach at Velez, I believe. And
Yep.
I mean, there's been a lot of rumors lately that he's about one step away from becoming the next Atlanta coach. And if that's the case, that's a very Tata-esque coach to sign. Like that's you're going much more in that direction than you were with Frank DeBoer. And that's definitely the direction Atlanta needs to go because clearly the DeBoer experiment was a disaster. So let's just scrap it. We're starting from scratch. And I'm excited to hear this one. And I know that he had some big offers, I believe, in South America. I'm pretty sure that he rejected an offer from Palmeiras, if
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not mistaken.
Palmeiras.
Yeah, yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's who. And I was seeing a lot of stuff on Twitter about like people talking about how questioning why he would reject that and go with Atlanta instead. So, I mean, this could be a pretty big move for not only the league but for Atlanta too. And I would be lying if I said I wasn't excited about this.
I agree. I think it's a really great, um, ambitious signing, right? Because that is what Atlanta has been for the last how long now? They've ever since they've really existed, right? Um, you have to keep up with who you are as a team, and I think the biggest thing that they can do is go out and get a Tata-esque manager. You can't just go ahead and excuse me. You can't just go ahead and hire the Frank de Boers because they've got good pull in England when you're trying to recruit out of South America because it's just two different play styles, right? So you need to find somebody to fit the style you want to play, and you you just gotta fit your style, and I think that's the biggest issue was Frank didn't fit their style, which is why they didn't succeed as early as they could have, right? 4 or 5 games without a goal, something like that. And just the whole identity, even after Joseph got hurt, nothing, right? So what they're doing is the right move. They're going out finding somebody to fit their mold, fit their style, and he's obviously going to bring players in with him, right? He's not just going to. He's got a big reputation. He's got a big name and presence in that South American game, which is exactly what they're looking to do. I wouldn't be shocked if Atlanta are not stuck at the bottom like some other teams we know. Got to get those references in there as one of our buddies is no longer here. So
Yeah, that's the part where he'll tell us about how bad FCC is.
yeah, I mean I don't think so. But if we had a certain somebody here to make those types of comments,
Do you want me to? I can step up for him. I can
you're
start.
more than welcome to. I don't like it, but you're more than welcome to.
I mean, listen, right now they kind of deserve it, but I don't think they're gonna be as bad for as long as Adam thinks they are. I think Adam
Yeah.
thinks they're gonna be bottom of the league for the entire history of the league.
They're going to be the Chivas USA. They're never going to make the playoffs. They're just going to fold.
I mean, I hope they don't fold.
I know they're not going to fold. They won't fold.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I'll leave that for Adam. That's kind of his thing.
Yeah.
No insults from me. Who else? Chris Armas? Anything to say about your former coach?
You know,
Rumors?
quite frankly and quite honestly, I hope he does great. If he's not with DC, if he goes to DC, I hope he does okay, but still misses the playoffs because we can't have DC doing good things. But as
I mean, that's probably likely.
sure, but as a coach, as him personally, nothing but the best for him. He's a great guy. Has the right. I think he's got the right ideas. I think he's a good coach. He knows what he's talking about, what he's doing. He was not given the proper tools to succeed. We talked about this already. And I hope I wish him nothing but the best. Unless he goes to DC, where I wish him mediocre success and no playoff appearances.
Give him that like typical New England regular season finish.
Yeah. Give him like I'll let DC get in the playoffs. Give him DC in the bottom playoff spot, so the 7th playoff spot or whatever, however many they're going to be next year. Give him that, and then a first round loss to like Columbus. I'll take that all day long.
Maybe. One other coach, Patrick Vieira. He's now available. You think
That's
he
right.
comes back?
Patrick Vieira had a niece gone.
Yep. Is he coming back?
No, not a chance.
No.
No. I'm sure there are people who would love to have him. I don't think he's leaving here. I think he'll stay there. He'd probably go lower division France or England before he goes back here.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I feel like I don't know if I'd go lower division personally, but I don't think a move to the championship is the worst idea.
No, absolutely not.
I also don't think a move back to MLS is the worst idea for his career. I mean, clearly he knows what he's doing here. He can get he can get himself settled again and try to bounce back, and he can probably land another job in Europe. I mean, he's
Sure,
obviously got the name. I mean, no question. I mean,
Yeah, like I
God
said,
knows how to play.
people know who he is. That's not a question. Yeah, man, I'm watching these highlights right now of the game against SKC. The way that they straight up dismantled this back line.
Yeah, I guess,
They're good.
but like, was SKC a bit overrated in your opinion? Like, they scraped by San Jose and then got
SKC
blown out.
SKC was probably overrated in the fact that people saw that one next to their name and were just like sick.
Yeah, right.
But I think they were not 3 goals worse than Minnesota.
That's fair.
They were not 3 goals worse than Minnesota, and they weren't even competitive. Second half didn't even look like they wanted to be there. That's not the SKC I know. So
Yeah, well, it's almost at this point, like I know they were the 1 seed, but in the playoffs they were not convincing. And last year they were a disaster. So are we at the point where SKC is just like I don't know what to say about it. Like they have such a talented team on paper, I feel.
well,
But
you can say that they're not. I mean, listen, you don't finish first in the West by mistake. There's
true,
obviously something there. Now, could they have finished fourth based off of how tight that was? Sure. But that doesn't mean that they're not good. You know what I mean?
true. But you gotta if you're not gonna win Supporter Shield, then there's a time to be good, and that time was the playoffs, and they were not good, not good enough at least.
Sure. Definitely not good enough. But listen, Red Bull haven't won an MLS Cup yet. The times that they didn't mean they weren't good.
That's true.
You know, there are 3 different times where we were considered the best team in the league and didn't win the cup. Which also, I'm heartbroken. New England isn't playing for the final right now. A team that needed a play-in game, getting all the way to the finals and possibly winning it, the biggest trophy in MLS. Oh man, hook that to my veins. I would have loved to hear the MLS Cup defenders talk about how it's a blip in the seas. Oh man, that would have been so good. I will say the Supporter Shield has less value now, especially this year, but a lot less value now where there isn't a ton to it because not every team plays each other, right?
Right.
Especially this year where you had teams that basically just played the same 5 teams every game, right?
And then you had Colorado who played 5 games the entire season.
Yeah, exactly. but really what they should do is next year they should probably get you to play as you play each team once, and then you play your conference teams twice. That should give you your 36 games, right?
Let's see. Austin comes.
Oh no,
Austin.
never mind. It would be 30 teams this year, right? So it'd be you'd play your
No,
Eastern
it's
Conference
not.
guys would be
It's not
28.
30.
Well, yeah.
Because only Austin's coming in, and they're
Oh,
at
that's right. They
26 right
pushed
now.
everybody back. Yes, you're right. So you're looking at 27.
Yeah, I think so. So you
So you're
have
looking at 27. Cut that in half. You got 13 and 14. So let's say you're in the 14.
you'd have like what 39.
You'd
I
end up
guess
playing
a little
39
less.
games. Yeah, you'd end up playing 39 games, which is a little much.
Well, so what would happen in the West then? Because they would play 22 and then 14, which would be 36. So you'd have to move some things around. Like
Yeah.
I would say
I don't get
you definitely play each team in your conference twice, and then maybe you just don't play a couple teams in the other conference.
That's
If
probably
you're
how
like
they'll do it. Yeah. I wish
or the West.
and this is where Pro Rel would be great. Keep it at 24 teams. Play the 22 games in your conference plus the extra 12 out of conference. Get yourself 34 games, and that's it. Or 26. Get your 24 plus the 13 there would be 25. That's what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle has never lost to Minnesota. You know what that means?
There's always a time for a first.
Balloons are prepped. Huddles are being finalized. Stu's keys to the game. Seattle, limit space centrally, quick transitions to the front three. Minnesota, play through the pressure, compact, and concentration. So that's interesting to me because if I'm Minnesota, I don't want to play through that pressure. I want to dump it up to Molina, Reynoso, and let them combine past the pressure. Alonso and Grey Goose can play through the pressure, but because Seattle's going to try and quickly transition, if you can pick that ball off before or as they're pressing you, you're going to have that space in behind to go. So that's interesting. I'm not sure if I want to necessarily go ahead and try and play through that pressure if I don't have to. Ismail Elfaf in the middle, looking dapper as ever in his all-black kit. I like Ismail. I think he's a good ref, better than anybody the Red Bulls have because those referees just hate us. Every single one of them. They all don't like the Red Bull, but that's okay. Who scores the first goal, Connor?
Hold on. Please hold.
A knee is being taken in solidarity. Shane O'Neill.
Man, I am pretty far behind.
Do you not have cable up there?
No cable. I am
You are
on
living like a
Fox
true
Sports
grad.
Live.
You are living like a true grad student, huh?
Yeah, except for the fact that I'm not a grad student anymore.
Oh, that's right. You're working, man. And we are underway here in Seattle.
Let's just go for a wild one and say Ethan Finley is the one that gets the first goal.
The tackle Reynoso. The one thing I noticed is how comfortable they are with Reynoso. Oh, Ozzy Alonso just hacked down Jovan Jones. 30 seconds into the game, he's already got talking to. I really like how well that Reynoso has molded with this team because he very easily could have been another Chacon where he just didn't exist, but he came in and just impact right away, and it's been the same way. I would believe next year he's challenging for MVP. I truly think so.
That's pretty fair.
Mono. So here's a question for you while the game gets started.
Mm-hmm.
MLS usually has the home and away playoff format towards the end of the playoffs, right?
Right.
Can you at all see them going back to that after this? I saw this comment the other day when you had all these penalty kicks, shootouts, and stuff like that, 3-3 games and whatever. How can you look at this and say, yeah, I want to have a second leg where people are probably just going to park the bus and nobody's going to do anything?
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think there should be two legs. Not to mention the fact that this league's gonna have like 40 teams soon, and I feel like at least 8 from each conference will make the playoffs. So
It's going to have 40
if you're
teams,
doing
30
home,
of them are making the playoffs.
what'd you say?
40 teams, 30 of them are going to make the playoffs.
I know. And then if you have home and away, you're gonna have basically regular season 2 with how long
We're
it's gonna take.
literally never going to end the season. We're just going to play for
Forever. Like the
11
season's gonna
months out of
end
the
and
year.
it's gonna be the start of the regular season.
You're going to have playoff games in Colorado, and it's going to be Costa Rica, USA Part 2.
Could you imagine Minnesota gets rid of Chacon and gets a real DP?
I think he's on the way out. There's no way he stays longer than this year. I think his contract's up.
Like imagine this team with like I don't know, really dangerous. Actually, I don't know where they would spit. I want to say like
go strike
defender.
Well, no, they have Maria when he gets back healthy. What do you want to do here? You're not going to go St. Clair. You're not going to go improve St. Clair. I think St. Clair's your goalkeeper of the future.
Maybe a center back.
You've got Ike and you've got Boxall. You might want to get a third. You might not need another. This might. Oh, that's really well done by Stephen Fry. Ball gets swung in from the right side. Who was that? Was that? I think it might have been Finley who got his foot on the ball.
It was close.
Took it around. Yeah, it goes from Reynoso. inside to Grey Goose. Grey Goose all the way outside to Mr. Metenier. Metenier swings the ball in. Oh, no, I think it's Robin Lode. Robin Lode gets a touch, and then Fry's quick to cover and smother that line. So that's really good on him. Another one you don't want to count out, Stephen Fry in a playoff game. Don't mess with that.
True.
Minnesota, 6 goals scored in the playoffs, 7 goals conceded off of corner kicks.
I guess maybe you could replace Ethan Finley in the team and get a designated player winger.
You could. I wonder if VAR's going to come in here. We have a tackle, basically a tackle in the box on that corner where it looked like Michael Boxall was trying to run near post and Shane O'Neill just fell on him. And there it is. Can we go quickly? Can we go quickly? Can we go quickly? That's that turnover they're looking for. Jordan Morris trying to play that ball central. Direct turnover. Oh, Ismaili's diving there. Direct turnover, and now they've got numbers in front of the ball. They need to go quickly through that line there. They don't need to try and possess through Reynoso. Let's see if we can hit the feet of Robin Lode playing up top, have him lay off to Reynoso, swing it out wide, and let's go, right? Things like that. You want to get at Seattle early because once Seattle's in the lead, they're comfortable. If you can put Seattle behind, then they haven't been behind often, right? They're usually in the lead, so you want to try and get in front of them early. Let's talk about Dwayne St. Clair for a little bit. My goodness, Where did this guy come from?
More like, where's Tyler Miller going to be going after this?
Right? What is Tyler Miller going to do? I heard Red Bull need a competent keeper or two.
I heard LAFC are desperate for a goalkeeper. Maybe
imagine they had one where they didn't need to go trade for Tyler Miller.
Yeah, imagine.
Wild. It would be really cool to see him go back there because I don't think Cisniega or what's the other guy's name? Vermeer. Yeah, I don't like him. I think he's soft. I think he's a bad shot stopper. I don't like him.
There's plenty of teams that could use a goalkeeper, and Tyler Miller can definitely hop onto one of those teams.
As long as he comes back healthy, right? If he comes back in one piece.
Yeah, but I think it's worth a shot. If you're like I don't know.
Colorado, take a flyer on him. You've got Zach McMath on the bench. If he doesn't work out, throw Zach back in there and let him go at the end of the year. Sign him on a 1-year deal and let him go.
Isn't Zach in RSL? Isn't he starting ahead of Ochoa right now?
No, I thought he was Colorado. Oh no, it's Yarborough at Colorado, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on me.
I don't know, maybe Inter Miami?
Ooh, you know what? That's a really good shout.
And then you could have Robles behind. It can help him, learn the tricks of the trade.
Right. If we're talking Luis Robles. Luis Robles needs to come in and now watching a live video. Oh, so that's what we look like. Cool. That looks super cool. All right. So if we're going to talk Luis Robles, let's talk Luis Robles for a second.
Luis Robles. We're talking.
Luis Robles' career can be over right now. And I heard that Red Bull just let go of Preston Burpo. Now, people who don't know my buddy Preston was the goalkeeper coach at New York Red Bull, which means there's an opening for the goalkeeper coach at New York Red Bull. And Luis, as great of a player as he is, might be on his last legs. So he could probably ride the bench behind a guy like Tyler Miller, or he could spread his knowledge and his ability to the young goalkeepers of the future, like what's his name? It's Luca Lewis, I think, is our Red Bull 2 goalkeeper. We went out and spent hella money on the guy. He's like 17, 18, but he's Italian. We took him from like Torino youth or something like that, and he's supposed to be the next guy. So I'd love to see that. But literally, if Luis wants to come back, there is always a spot for him. Luis, I know you're listening. Um,
Of
we're
course,
more
it's
we're more than welcome to have you back. Hey, listen, he put me on his Instagram story once. We're bros. It's a thing.
I have up a list of all the designated players because I wanted to make sure that Chacon was still a designated player for Minnesota. I wasn't sure if they brought him down. But I'm looking at Red Bull's history of their designated players, and it's a pretty rough list.
Oh, already a yellow card. 9 minutes into the game, and it looks like Alex Roldan has been given a card for a late challenge on Kevin Molino.
That's all right. They have like 18
They do.
fullbacks on
They
their
have a
bench.
lot of fullbacks. I think it's harsh. I
I don't
think
know.
it's
I'll let
harsh.
you know in a couple minutes.
He's late and it's strong, but there's no intent to injure. And he doesn't catch him, right? He doesn't hit him with his studs. He catches him. He catches the ground and follows through with his body. I think that's a harsh yellow, but it'll be interesting to see if they start attacking down that side now. Go ahead and see if they can get something on him. Reynoso standing over the ball. It looks like Grey Goose or Loda standing offside. All right, swing back in, flicked on, and it is knocked out by Seattle for a throw-in. And everybody just lost 7 points for being out of position, just like FIFA career mode.
Oh my God.
Oh, go on, Kevin. Yammer Andrade has been very quietly good for Seattle this year. You don't see him in any of those Defender of the Year categories, but he's been solid. If I'm Seattle, my first signing this year is another Gomez Andrade because O'Neal is good, but he's not great. And then Arriaga has been piss poor as of late. Ever since that whole MLS is back tournament, he was probably one of the worst defenders in the league. So you need somebody who's going to partner next to him and be the 2018 Tim Parker, Aaron Long combo.
I don't know. Do you give Arriaga more time? Do you
No.
no?
Oh, that's a good ball. Oh, poor touch, Jordan. And this is where we go quickly, right? They go quickly. Yes, there you go, Ron. Push it, push it, push it. And you slow it down. Don't slow it down. Don't slow it down.
Let
This
them
is the
know,
thing, right?
coach. Let them know.
So here's the thing, and here's the exact play. Turnover on Minnesota's attack. Seattle looks to transition quickly. Seattle's transitioning quickly. They're putting 7-8 players into this attack. Morris is going forward. You got your outside backs pushing up. Your center mids are all pushing. And then Morris takes a bad touch, turns it over. Sinclair rolls the ball out. Metnier starts pushing. And then it's just, okay, I'm going to put my foot on the ball and see if we can compete. Let's see if we can keep it. That's not how you want to go. You want to push. You want to see if you can get behind them, especially with Roldan. If I'm here right now, I'm putting the ball down on the ground. I'm playing it over Roldan's head every single time. If Kevin Molino can outrun him and Roldan has to make a stupid challenge, he's done. Every time. That's how I'm going to attack him until I realize I can't do it anymore, and then I'm going to switch the field and go at Nuhu.
Oh man, that was a really bad touch by Morris.
Yeah, you saw it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not that far behind, then. You're all right. What's up to the 4 people watching with us right now? We hope you're enjoying the game. Connor is a little bit farther behind, or he's even with you. It depends on where you're watching, too. Leave a comment. Let us know who you want to win. Who do you want to win today? And if you don't say Minnesota, you're wrong.
Then you're right.
You're wrong. Adrian,
I don't know. Just take a look at my track record of predictions. I think you're
all
probably.
right, don't look at that. He cheats. He's a cheat.
That's what I do. I cheat. I use my time machine.
Yeah. I think it is wild what Adrian Heath has done compared to what he did in Orlando. How he was awful. Him and Christ were awful in Orlando. And then he comes to Minnesota and he's awful again, but they actually give him time and he turns the whole thing around. Kind of heartless though, man. Man cut his own son. Savage.
Listen, got to teach him a lesson. Put him in his. Don't let him get too humble.
Get back to him. Said it. Get down. Good boy. Well done. Oh, Reynoso. Man, wasn't Nuhu supposed to be like the defender of like the future for this team? Like he was supposed to be the next Kamar Lawrence.
Sure.
I remember him coming in and he was just a tank, and I'm like, oh, this guy's gonna be good, and then he just stopped playing.
I mean, he's only
Good block,
23.
good block by DeBoss. He really is. That's right. You're yes, Jay Sounders. Get out of here, Jay. Um, good block there by DeBossi. Ball gets cut in from the wing onto Rui Diaz's feet, and he gets a good block. Rui Diaz is about 8 yards out there. It's probably a goal if he's not in front of him. The pace is exactly what I expected it to be, though. End to end, a lot of movement from the Seattle. As soon as Seattle wins that ball back in the defensive third, they're all going. They want to score early. Like I said, they want to be comfortable because that's what they are. That's a really nice ball to the end. Ladero, get your knee over the ball, son. Christian Roldan swings that ball and goes over everybody. Ladero's just sitting on the back post. Ball's bouncing and it doesn't fall for him. He puts it 70 yards over the bar. Okay, Jay, you
Yeah,
can
this
stay.
this game's gonna have a very MLS Cup final feel. Like these are arguably two of the best teams in the. I would probably say the two best teams in all of the playoffs.
Yeah. I think it'd be really interesting to see once the first goal gets in, how it changes, right?
Yeah, well, it all depends on who scores.
Yeah.
I feel like Seattle will be more tempted to sit in, but I don't know. Minnesota, I feel like it's just they'll score and then they'll look to score 8 more goals.
Well, and that's what I'm saying, and you'll see that because Seattle will start pushing, right? You're not going to see Seattle sit back and say, "Oh, I'll score in the 90th minute or whatever." They're going to want to get it back right away because they're not comfortable being down. And very interested to see the reaction, but Minnesota's shape is a little sketchy to me. You're not seeing these banks of midfield. They're kind of – you've got Alonso and Grey Goose who are kind of playing almost like as two center backs. They're a little too deep for my liking, which is going to give – oh, Kevin, what was that? It gives them this weird shape of allowing that midfield to be open, way more open than I like it to be. Which is dangerous when you have players like Ladero and Rui Diaz who can just go in and interchange each other, right?
Uh-huh.
Right. See, this is stuff. We should start a side podcast where we just watch games live and just break them down as it happens. Oh no!
That's what True Jordy's doing.
Yes, I would love to do that.
We want the MLS version of the kickoff.
Yes, and we can do that. I would 100% be here for that. Every soccer Sunday, we all just get together and break it down. Absolutely. Because this is what I do, right? This is what I used to do with Coach Blake, who was a guest on our show a couple months ago. But we would sit here and we'd watch games. Or the Premier League has like goal of the day or something where they replay all the matches and they show things, and we'd sit there and we'd just pick things out, right? We'd say, oh, this goal happened because this guy was in the wrong position or stuff. And for anybody who's a young footballer who wants to learn the game, this is what you do. You just sit and watch, and you think about, if I were a coach, how would I change things? And if you want to get better, that is the first thing I'd say to do. Is not enough kids who play the game watch the game. And anybody who wants to get better needs to understand what the best people do. When I was growing up and I had the varsity team ahead of me, I was still in middle school, I'd go watch the varsity games as often as I could, and I would just see what players would do. What would the goalkeeper there do? How would he save this shot? And then I start putting that into my game, and just little things like that. And over time, you start picking up a lot of where you should be and how you should be moving, and it's those things that make you a better player. Skills, speed, athleticism, that all comes over time, but knowledge of the game is something you have to work at. And that's my coach's corner of the day. Oh, Ozzy, so good there. Falta.
So did you want to talk about some of the roster changes that we missed?
Yeah. I'm engrossed in the way this game is happening right now because it's so different from what they did to SKC. They went against SKC and just right from the start hit it, and right now they're almost giving more respect to Seattle than they did to Kansas City. Which is crazy to me. Um, yeah, it's a foul. Yeah, so roster change. Let's go. Let me go pull that sheet up
Uh-huh.
so we can talk a little bit.
All right, so I believe we missed. Let's take a look. We
Yeah,
missed
did you see? Did you see
Dallas.
that this guy Landon Donovan is the MLS Most Valuable Player award? Like he's the name after it.
No, I don't know who that is.
Wild. I wouldn't have included him in my best 11 of all time. God, I still can't believe that.
Um, so I think we missed LAFC, Dallas,
Well, we didn't miss them.
Houston.
They just hadn't come out yet,
Yeah,
right?
well, we recorded before they
Sure,
made their changes.
sure.
Miami. I want to say Nashville. I don't remember if we talked about
Yeah,
Nashville.
Nashville's still in the playoffs when it happens, so we could talk
Right.
about that. We'll start with Dallas.
Sure.
NYC. Did we start
Dallas.
with them? Did we talk to NYC? I don't think so.
I don't think so. No.
No. But anyways,
Anything surprising in Dallas?
well, with Dallas, I first want to say Nikosi Burgess's option was picked up, and I played against Nikosi Burgess as a kid, so that's pretty cool. Big up
That's
Nikosi.
a humble brag.
Congratulations on that. He actually made ESPN Top 10 against Scott Flores, who I think you know. Scotty, what's going on? Because some guy played a ball in the box. He took a no-look blind touch with like the outside of his foot, chipped it straight up in the air, hit a bicycle kick, and won the game. And then we played them the next week in that tournament, and we got it to extra time. And in extra time, he tried to pull the same thing off, and he missed the ball, which I thought was really funny.
Yeah,
But big up Nikosi. Congratulations on that. Rito Ziegler out of contract. I think that is a interesting. I wouldn't be shocked to see if they want to try bring him back. He was a big part of that back line this year.
right.
Santiago Masquera is the big name there, right? DP player. Didn't really make a lot of an impact though. He was supposed to come in and fill the shoes of Fabian Castillo, and never did. So, not shocked he's gone, but will be interesting to see what they use that spot for. Oh, well done, Kevin. Good feet. Get it in there. Yes. And that's the ball that they need to play, but it needs to be a better. So Kevin Molino picks up the ball, cuts outside, inside, is in the middle of the field. Robin Lod comes into space while Reynoso runs in behind him, and they lay it off. It doesn't come off for them, but that's the type of movement they need because they're not going to beat them over the top if they're not going to go quickly. It's not going to be a hey, I'm just going to get into the 18 or the attacking half and dump it into the 18. Right? They're going to try and possess through it. I hate when you gotta stop calling me. Ladero's in the box. Nope, corner kick Seattle. Other than that, I don't see anything crazy with these. Bresson is in contract negotiations as well. He was another big part of that back line, but again, I couldn't tell you half of the players if they needed to be held on to or not because I didn't know that half of them even exist.
Yeah, apparently you don't know that entire team exists.
They literally did not need to exist, and I wouldn't know. Oh, well
I
done.
just realized I was looking at Houston. looking at the decisions that they made. And one of the guys that they have on their team is a guy that I brought in on my Ludogorets football manager save.
Oh my God.
It's,
Ludogorets. Where'd that come from?
I don't know, because they they're on like 7 straight championships in real life in Bulgaria. So
Go quickly. Go quickly. Go quickly. That's not quick enough. That's not quick enough, Emmanuel. It's got to be faster. Corner kick gets cleared out. You got 4v3 going forward, and Emmanuel Reynoso wants to take 18 touches to figure it out, and now they're countered again because all their numbers are up. It's there. It's there. You just need to go. You got Kevin Molino running 900 miles an hour. Just give him the ball and let him go. So yeah, in Houston, who did you bring in?
Mateo.
Mateo. Bajamic?
Yeah.
Jesus, that's such a random name.
He only played 2 games, I think, for Houston this season. So I think he was a loan. So I don't know if he's coming back next year.
Well, he's under
But
contract, so he'll be back.
okay. Well, I'm excited to see what he can do. He scored a goal in his 2 games, so that's a pretty good goals to game ratio.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about touches per minute, I had a great college resume, but I'd like to see what he can do over more than 2 games. I also would like to see what I could do over more than 2 games, but coach didn't want me to for whatever reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I can only imagine why.
All right, can we also talk about, before we go on, can we talk about the fact that they're making head coaches do sideline interviews in the middle of a moving game? That might be the most MLS thing I've ever seen, and I hate it.
Yeah, I remember you were complaining, I think, on Twitter about what was it, like the halftime
it was
interview?
I tweeted it in this SKC game where SKC were down 3-0. It was like the 56th or 60th minute, and they're like, "So, Peter Vermees, tell us how the game's going." And he had this look on his face like, "You idiots! Like, how do you think the game is going? Look at the scoreboard. Stop talking to me." Like, go talk to an assistant coach or something. Stop trying to. Well done, Chase. Oh, well done, Ozzy. Oh no! Oh, good save. So, ball gets swung into the back stick. Chase Gasper has it go away. Ladero lays it off for Christian Roldan, who gets stood up by Ozzy Alonso, and then it's like FIFA happens, and he tackles the ball into him 3 times, and it magically pops out to Rui Diaz on the edge of the box, who has a shot, and it's easily saved there by St. Clair. It went right down into his hands. Ooh. Shane O'Neal's given a yellow for something we didn't see because of a replay, but it's right on the edge of the box. This is Reynoso area. Oh, I broke it. I
feel way behind.
I just broke a rubber band. That's cool. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a tough one. Finley tries to go through the ball. Shane O'Neal studs up right on top of the boot. Oh, that's going to hurt. Yeah, that's the right call. This is why I love Ismail Elfat. Arm around the player. Hey, buddy, let me talk to you. That's an awful challenge. Stop being an idiot. Yes. Tap him on the chest. Go on. But that's the thing all referees, I think, in the game need to start doing is talking to players. The biggest thing I hated about my college referees, and I've told this to everybody who has a say in how college referees work, they don't talk to people enough. And this is just for all referees, right? If you're going to ref this game, we're all adults. Have a conversation with us and let us know why you made a call. Don't give us a silent treatment because you think you're more superior than everybody else because you have a whistle. Say something. Let us know. If we have a question, answer us. Or if we're talking off, say, hey, shut your mouth. This is why I called it. You talk again, then we're going to have an issue. But man, I have a buddy who actually is down here working with me right now, who I played with, who literally all he said to a referee once was, "Ref, the other team thinks it's a corner. It's a goal kick too. Why'd you give a corner?" And he gave him a yellow card. And then 3 minutes later, he went in for a challenge, and it was a clean challenge, and he gave him a red card because he just didn't like the way he was talking to him. And it's those types of things that need to get way better in the American game, because I don't know if you've seen that clip of the referee in Australia in his last game, and he's talking. They mic'd him up, and he's talking to all the players and stuff, saying, "Hey man, that's late. You can't do that." And Reynoso has a hit. Golazo Reynoso! What a finish! I told you, Reynoso range, baby. Oh, what a finish. Reynoso steps into a free kick. It's got to be 30 yards out and curls it over the wall past the outstretched hand of Stephen Fry into the bottom corner. Up the Loons, 1-0, baby. Here we go.
Hold on, give me a couple minutes.
Does not get much better than that. Off the post and in. What a finish. Que golazo. Reynoso. A picture perfect free kick to give the Loons the lead. 1-0. If you guys are hearing this, I am typing on a tweet right now. Go follow us on Twitter, because we put some pretty funny content out. And by we, I mean me, because I'm really good at Twitter.
Uh-huh.
All right. There it is. Now, and this is what we were just talking about, right? What does Seattle do? And you're going to see Seattle press all over the pitch now. And there it is. They just caused that turnover right in the attacking third. Rui Diaz, what is your decision going to be? Gives it to Ladero, out to Jones, and it's not enough from Ladero. But this is what you're going to see. It is now just all-out pressure. If you're going to give yellow to O'Neal, it's got to be the same thing to Gasper there. It's the same exact challenge. This is about to get really open now. We might not be doing a lot of talking about the
We'll hit it at halftime.
This is about to get crazy. All right, so he doesn't give a yellow here, which is very interesting, because it's the same challenge that came in on actually, no. Jones is on top of Gasper there, which is interesting. But it's the same intensity and strength as the yellow card O'Neal got, which is interesting. Ladero over the ball, chips in a free kick, and it's cleared away. Oh, this is going to be fun now, because, like we said, right, what is Seattle going to do? Seattle don't like being down, so they're going to try and push to get back to it. You're going to open a lot of gaps here. Dwayne Sinclair playing time-wasting at 32nd minute. Good. Go ahead. Do your thing.
That's MLS playoffs.
You'd love to see it. But what you're going to see now is Seattle pushing hard. And I think what you're going to see is Roldan's going to get pulled very attacking. He's going to try and win that second ball after the first press. And that's going to leave space if Grey Goose can find that gap to turn and go forward. And that's what I want to see now. If I'm Adrian Heath, I'm saying, Jan, get the ball next. And that's my way as a coach of saying, I don't need you to be the first option, be the second option, right? When St. Clair gets the ball and passes it to Chase Gasper, you get the ball after Chase Gasper gets it. And that is what I'm looking to do there if I'm Adrian Heath, because you're going to see Seattle buzzing for the next 15 minutes to try and win that ball back, which they've done 3 or 4 times already. And you need to have that outlet in your center mid. So your center mid needs to be your outlet there, and that's got to be Grey Goose, because Alonso's going to be running like a chicken without his head trying to get Ladero not to have the ball. Isn't football wonderful?
Yeah. I mean, Minnesota's just got to hold off the pressure, because, I mean, like you said, they're going to push hard to try to get that goal back as fast as they can. But hold it off at this point. Go into halftime with a lead.
It's a quick whistle there. Come on, Kevin, you got to work now.
They can't take their foot too much off the pedal, because, like we were talking about, Seattle's deep, so these guys can play hard for the entire game.
Yep. And you can make multiple subs now without having to worry about running out, right? Because you still have the 5 to go. So, hey, shout out Last Word on Soccer, by the way. There was a Twitter account called Total MLS that used to post all these GIFs of every goal in the league, and they shut down after couple years of doing it, and he's kind of taken over. So Shout out Last Word on Soccer. I like you. I like your Twitter page. I think you're really cool. Metnier has changed from 4.0 midfielder to or 4.0 defender to one of the best outside backs again in the league. Has been phenomenal. But again, that's a good tackle there, Boxall. But what you're seeing right now they're shooting new who's going forward. You've got Roldan going forward. You got other Roldan going forward. Everybody's shooting forward. They got eight, 9 players ahead of the ball now trying to get this goal back before halftime. And right here, now can we go quickly? Can we find the high player and can we build off it? Yes, well done. I'll get a touch, Emmanuel. But that's the idea, right? Now they're going to press. They're going to press you high. Once we get that turnover, can we go high? Can we find our target striker? Can we lay it off to our player underneath and go forward? That's what we need to be looking for now. Because Metnier has gone down with an injury. It looks not good. I wonder if it's, it looks like hamstring. Boy, that's not good. Right, but what that's going to do is if Debasi or Boxall win that ball and go high to Robin Lowe, and Robin Lowe can hold that ball up for Reynoso, you know Molino's got the pace and the fitness to get high. So you let that go. Finley's going to come up the other way, and then you're going to attack on your wings after you lay that ball off. But what you can't do is just dump it and expect, which is what Red Bull do way too often. Red Bull, when they win that ball back and they're trying to go quickly, they play past their target striker. So Tom Barlow's sitting up there trying to be a target forward, and they go past him and expect him to just go chase it down, which doesn't work because Tom Barlow can't outrun 4 players. He's quick, but not that quick. So what you need to do is play that target striker and work off of him, right? I didn't know Metnier played for Stud Reims.
That makes 2 of us.
Good for him. You got 10 minutes left in the half, and it looks like it's going to be a sub right away. It looks like it's Sonny Dawson coming in, which is huge because Sonny is a lot younger and a lot more mistake prone. The guy can go forward really well, but is he the best at it as a defender? Not necessarily, not yet. They're trying to fit him in a lot of different areas. As a midfielder, who just ended his career. Nice little nutmeg there. Good, Reynoso. Can we go forward now? That's fine. Make them go all the way back. That's fine. They can't hurt you there. So this is where you need to have this release valve. And all right, Metnier has come back on the pitch. I don't know how long it's going to last. But if Robin Lund gets sucked too tight in, because I believe he's a natural midfielder. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe he's a natural midfielder, which means that he's going to want to naturally get sucked into that midfield spot. And I have this issue with one of the girls on my U14 team where she's a natural midfielder, and every time I play her at striker, she wants to come pick up the ball behind the halfway line. I keep trying to explain to her, and it's the same thing in this game too. If you are trying to receive the ball on the other side of the halfway line as a striker, and this pressure is coming, we have no outlet. We have nowhere to go. So if we have nowhere to go, nothing good is going to happen. We're just going to dump the ball in, and they're just going to come right back down our throats. You need to stay high, and you need to be the person to receive that ball. If you aren't, chase it down and pin it all the way in the back. And I guarantee you that if Seattle scores, it's going to be something like that, where they're trying to find him. They either miss him, and he doesn't go chase it, or he's not there at all, and they're going to come right back down their throats. Good ball, Kevin. Finley, you got to do better than that, son. Ball gets played in from Molino straight through to Finley. Looked like he might have been offside if that went in. It would have gone to VAR and maybe come back, but he doesn't do it. Doesn't do nearly enough with the ball, and it's an easy save for Fry. Cola. Yep, and there he goes again. Yep, he's done. Metnier's down. He's done. His hammy just went. But Seattle are playing on. They don't care. Oh, if this goes in, corner kick there. But man, if that went in, I think somebody would have been drop kicked. That would have been awesome. All right, Sonny Dawson coming in, and oh man, Metnier looks bad. You could tell he was nursing something, tried to push through it, lunged into a tackle, and you just saw him pop.
I feel like it's not worth it to push it through like that, especially if you think your team can go through to the final. I mean, you want to be healthy for that, but
I
if you
think if
lose
you're
him now
playing,
for the
if you're
final,
playing against, what's that?
if you lose him now for the final, that's killer.
Oh yeah, there's no way he's back for the final. That hamstring is gone.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, you could have came off the first time and potentially not had as bad of a problem and possibly played in the final. Oh
You're not.
yeah, he just
You
went down
know
on my
this. If you're
screen.
hurt, you never want to get taken off the field. Never not want.
I know, but I feel like you got to think, and I know it's an important game, and of course you're not going to want to come off, but
Right. It's your first chance as a club to make an MLS Cup in your third year, fourth year of existence. You don't want to miss that opportunity.
except the fact that he's going to now miss potentially the important game.
You know, it's kind of funny because when back in high school, when Ryan Nigro had that injury, the tooth in the back, I kept telling
Uh,
him things like, "Man, don't worry about it. We'll get to where we need to be. You'll be back for it, no problem at all." And he said, "I'm not gonna take the chance of missing out on something like that if I can play through it." And that's the mindset that he obviously had there. Now here's the good thing, right? The thing that Minnesota is doing very well is keeping them outside. They're not letting um, Roldan, they're not letting Ladero, and they're not letting um, João Paulo have any freedom in the midfield, which is really important because that's where they're going to hurt them. You're going to get a lot of a lot of your problems are going to come from when those three are combining and sliding in Jordan Morris or Rui Diaz or Jones on the wings to have their options. So if you can keep them wide and force them to play into Rui Diaz, who isn't as tall, go get it, Dwayne. Dwayne, you got to be stronger than that. If you can keep it wide and make them play into a Rui Diaz who doesn't have the height advantage that maybe a Kai Kamara has, right? For example, you stand a better chance of defending that well than if you allow Ladero to do what Ladero does, right? Keep them wide, make them swing the ball in. Speaking of Rui Diaz, just one header. That's funny. Um, I'm not saying he's bad in the air, by the way. I'm just saying that you've got a better chance of keeping the ball away from him than you do uh, or Will Bruin, for example, who's on Seattle's bench right now. Yeah, really well done there by Minnesota to clean that up and the ball as far away from St. Clair as they can. You got 4 minutes left in this half before it goes on, but a good half of strategic football here. Oh, Reynoso, how'd you get out of that, my guy? Deflection and a corner for Minnesota.
Oh yeah. He won the header pretty well.
Yep. Claimed by Fry there on that corner. You can't lose that ball in the midfield there. That's your biggest. Oh, that's not a good ball, Joven. So that's the other issue that you're going to have here is if you're going to be playing this style of the way that you are in Minnesota, you have to win that first ball in the air, or at least challenge for it. What would just happen here is Seattle got themselves a chance on goal because the ball gets played over the top from a fry clearance. Alonso goes up for it, completely misses it, and now it's 4v4 going the other way with Alonso way out of the play. You have to win that first ball. If you don't win that first ball, you're in trouble. Big. Now can we win this ball? This ball is huge here. And they don't again. And now they're beat. One person gets pulled out of position, and Alonso has to go cover it and knock it out of bounds. There you go. Keep it wide. They can't hurt you there. Good. Well done. That's it. Now can we go quickly? You have the turnover. Can we go quickly? Good. Good. Molino, get going, kid. Gasper's taking it up the wing, and he puts his foot on the ball and goes back. This is the thing. If you want to go quickly, attack, attack, attack. Well done. That's a really good entry ball. What can we do with it? See, and now you've got Jordan Morris versus Michael Boxall 1v1. Morris shreds it to the left, and a corner kick is given. Two minutes of stoppage time here. Oh, man, you have to. Rui Diaz puts that ball over the bar from 8 yards out again. But that is just way too easy. Ball gets played in the near post, flicked over the top, and everybody just stands there and watches it. So who gets in on this? Jordan Morris gets in front of his man, flicks it on, and then you got people doing backheel flicks trying to clear the ball out. It's not good enough. And then you got, is that Debasi there? Yeah, Debasi is standing 8 yards away watching Rui Diaz like kick the ball. It's like, yeah, that's what you want to do with their best striker. Just watch him. Go mark your man. Go stand next to him. Go be best friends with him. I don't care. Just don't let him get away from you. Falta. Good. Yeah, so at halftime we'll go ahead. Am I in? Yeah. At halftime we'll go ahead and finish up the rest of those roster decisions. We'll talk a little bit about New England versus Columbus, and then get ready for the second half. I think the second half is going to be a belter, man. I think they're going to be so fun. Another corner for Minnesota here, right at the very end. Can they pull something out of it?
Oof. Yeah, I feel like Rui Diaz has to at least put that on goal. Not that it's the easiest shot, but oof. Yeah, I mean that's a tough one. It bounced pretty high, but yeah, you're right. He needs to be marked. I mean, if that ball's a little bit lower, it's probably a 1-1 game.
Yep. And that's what I mean. Debasi has been a very good addition for Minnesota since the injury to Iko Para, but man, that's not good enough from that man right there. All right, it is halftime, 1-0. Reynoso, 6 assists in 225 minutes, and now a stupendous goal from 30 yards out on a free kick. 1-0, Minnesota, 45 minutes to go. Connor, your thoughts on the first half?
It felt kind of a little bit more even in the beginning. Then obviously Minnesota gets their goal off the free kick. And that's what it took to kind of like wake Seattle up, because since that point, Seattle's been on the attack. But I feel like, I mean, you're in an MLS one-off playoff game. I feel like you got to have that attacking mentality from the start. I mean, it shouldn't take you losing to really turn it on and start to try to push for more. But Minnesota at the same time doesn't really seem like that they're pressing that hard to try to get another goal. Kind of feels like they were just trying to get into the half with this 1-0 lead, which it's fine. Obviously, the lead's a lead, but Seattle is a team that can. I mean, it's one goal. They can fire back and tie the game in the blink of an eye, and then that time that you took to just kind of see it out in the first half, that could have been extra time for you to get a goal. So, we'll see what happens. But
Yep.
right now, Minnesota's still winning. So regardless, they just have to hold on. They don't have. It doesn't have to be pretty. It can be as ugly as possible. But if they keep the ball out of the back of their net, they're in the MLS Cup.
And I think what you said there about the whole having to start from the start is going to be the exact phrase that comes out of Brian Smetcher's mouth. You can't wait for a goal to wake you up. You just can't. It's a very poor way to try and be a good football team, right? So I think that's probably going to say. But you're right. They have been the better of the teams so far ever since that goal went in because they've gotten woken up. And like we noted, right. If Seattle scored first, it was going to be a pretty much the same game. I don't think Minnesota would have pushed that hard. But since Minnesota scored first, we knew Seattle was going to go try and get that back as quick as they can. Now, how the second half starts off is going to be interesting. Do you want to go ahead and push for it and then maybe risk going down 2-0 real early? It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I think they will because 1-0, 2-0 is still a doable comeback with that much time left in the game. But the big thing here, and the big issue that I see, and David Goss, Empire Goss, on Twitter, great account to follow, really good insights on all the games. Dawson has not been a great right back this year. We talked about how he has been moved around a lot and has been very, very good when he's playing in the center of midfield, but has been a sketchy right back because of his defensive liability, right? We talked about he's pretty good going forward. Defensively, we're not sure yet. So Jordan Morris versus Sonny Dawson is going to be the matchup to watch in this next 45 because Morris is going to need to do a lot of the creativity. I wouldn't be shocked to see if Morris stays a little wider. What we've been seeing is Morris getting tucked in so that they can attack with numbers up the wing with Nuhu. I wouldn't be shocked to see Nuhu stay a little bit farther back and Morris go 1v1 on the wing a little bit more because of that change, right?
Yeah, I agree. It's got to be. I mean, this is a good opportunity for Morris to get more of have more of an impact on the attack now. I mean, regardless of how Dotson is, as how he's been playing for the season, he's coming off the bench, probably not like super warmed up. I mean, you've been out there the whole time. You gotta take advantage of that. You gotta push down that wing, try to, beat Dotson, try to draw as many guys out as you can, especially like you said, if you stay out wide, draw more guys out wide, and that'll create more space in the middle for Rui Diaz or Lodero or whoever.
Yeah, no, I agree, and it's all about tactics now, right? And it'll be tactics for another 15 minutes, and then once 60 minutes hits and it's still 1-0, it is who wants the game more. And that's one thing that I've learned about any final I've ever been in. It's never – once it gets down to the last 30 minutes, it's not about tactics. It's not about who's playing the better game. It's about who wants it more, who's going to run through the most 50-50s, who's going to make the most half chances to make a goal, right? And I think you're going to see Seattle be very, very good at that. We got about 10 minutes here before game kicks off. So let's run through these decisions here, roster decisions, after I get a bottle of water. I've been talking a lot.
Yeah, I'll grab my charger when we do that.
There you go. All right, we're back.
Oh man, I feel exhausted.
Yeah, me too. But guess what? We got another half to watch. I hope it goes into extra time. I need more of this game.
Oh God, no, please. I need
Yes.
to wake up early tomorrow.
No, you don't. How early?
I do. I gotta get up at like 7:45, I think.
Oh my God, I'm up at 7 o'clock. That's not early.
It's early when you're getting up at like 9 every day.
I'm working at 7:45, you bum.
Listen,
All right.
if I was used to waking up at 7 every day, then it wouldn't be a big deal. But I'm used to waking up later. All right. You want to, yeah, so we
Let's
talked
go back
about,
to
well,
Houston. I don't think we finished Houston.
yeah.
Biggest names for me, Thomas Martinez, who I think is meant to be. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to get him back. So I think he was one of the better playmakers on their team this year, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, you're gone. There you are.
Yeah, I was plugging in. I don't know. I didn't watch Houston.
Nobody watched Houston.
I'll say sure.
Yeah, sure. Let's take a look at his transfer market profile just for fun. Stats.
Oops.
This year he played 9 times. Never mind. Big signing from Braga though, so interesting. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of Matias Vera. Never mind. Forget me. Cody Cropper's a quietly good goalkeeper who could come in and help any team, even as a backup. I always liked Cody Cropper. I thought he was a solid goalkeeper for a long time. Was in the national team picture for a little bit till he got beat out by Bobby Shuttleworth in New England. And then you're looking at maybe Wilfred Zahibo is the other one that kind of stands out as it'd be nice to pick him up as some defensive help. Young, kind of wild in the way that he makes tackles, but always been reliable for New England and in his time. But other than that, everybody else kind of makes sense to me. Victor Cabrera's old. Michael Salazar, Ronaldo Pena didn't do much. Lassiter is coming back, excuse me. Nico Hansen's coming back. Fuenmayor. That whole back line just needs a complete reboot.
Yeah, you could say that.
That's the other big news. Mauro Manotas from Houston, sold to Club Tijuana in Mexico.
Oh, I did not know that.
That just came out. That just came out
news.
today. So that leaves Darwin Quintero and Christian Ramirez up top, and Lassiter. But you're looking at a team that had Ramel Kyoto, Albert Elise, and Mauro Manotas as this big attacking 3 at one point, and all of a sudden they're all gone. So that'd be interesting to see how that goes. But yeah, like I said, I don't care about Houston. Houston for me.
They got a lot of work to do.
Houston and Dallas are the same team for me.
So if they're a team from Texas, basically, you just forget they exist.
Yeah, because Texas isn't real anyway. We just give them back to Mexico. We don't need them.
This is coming from a man living in Kentucky.
Yeehaw. So big moves for LAFC. A few big names on here. Andy Nahar, who they brought in from Anderlecht, who I thought was going to be such a huge addition after letting Tristan Blackman get abused in the first 4 games of the season, is now gone and could be a very good pickup for any team that's looking for a solid outside back. BWP, comeback player of the year, not brought back. Interested to see where he goes. I'd say he can come back and be a striker coach for somebody, but after the way we treated him, I'd be surprised if he even looks in our direction anymore. Jesus Murillo? Oh, what was that?
Oh, no. I was just going to say if they get their front three back next year, then I mean, unless they want him as a backup, that would be really the only need for him.
I wouldn't be shocked if I thought Musovsky was also let go. I might be wrong here. I thought I saw Musovsky.
Looks like they exercised his contract.
They did, but I thought I saw a post saying that he was also let go. But you're still looking at Rodriguez, Rossi, and Vela, obviously. Be interested to see if Rodriguez is here much longer, but you have to know that if they're letting BWP go with those few options on the bench behind him, somebody's coming in. Musovski's been very good as a fill-in guy, but not, you're going to need at least one more. Jesus Murillo, one of their starting center backs, who is actually on their CCL roster right now, their 25-man roster, is in negotiation to come back, but nothing has been stated just yet.
Mm-hmm.
Did we talk about Inter Miami?
No, we did not. I don't believe we did, because I feel like Adam would have talked about it.
Yeah, and he definitely didn't. 8 contracts not exercised, including Juan Agudelo, Alvis Powell, Mikey Ambrose, and the GOAT Luis Robles.
Mm-hmm.
So Robles is not coming back. And
Some
I think
big names out of contract, too, that doesn't look like they're negotiating with so far.
Right, and that's what I mean. I think Breck Shea I think Will Trapp might be somebody they try to bring back. Breck Shea might be somebody they try to bring back. But it was something you noticed, right? They basically sent 12 of their 30 players out the door after one bad season. So Beckham's ready to do a full reboot on this side, which would be very interesting to see who else he brings in. But Will Trapp, I wasn't really sold on him, but I think he can probably go into an Austin maybe, and if they build around him well, be successful. I don't think Federico Higuain is going to go anywhere. I think he's kind of done. De La Garza, same thing. He's older. Robles is done. Andreas Reyes is interesting to me because he was a decent center back option for them. But I guess with Pires, McCoon, and Figal, there's not really much of a need for him. But he could be somebody to keep an eye on in terms of movement. Jerome Kaisweider, the German American who played like 4 times under Klinsmann, is gone, which kind of interests me. I was kind of excited to see what he could do here, but he never really got the chance. Mikey Ambrose is an outside back. They probably got somebody coming in who can help that. Or they kind of play that. They got Ben Sweat, Dylan Nealis, but they play the 3-back, 5-back, right? So they don't really need a lot of those.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else doesn't really stand out to me. We are running out of time, so we should run through the next one. Who's next?
NYC?
No,
Nashville. You're right.
They did not. They brought everybody back. We don't need to talk about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
There are a few people out of contract. The only person of any real note is Eric Miller, and he didn't play at all. So good job, Nashville. NYC did not bring back Gary Mackay-Stevens and Gideon Zalalam, and Brad Stewart's out of contract. Everybody else is still there. Gary Mackay-Stevens shocks me because I thought he was going to fit in well with Ronnie Dyla. Not great, but whatever. Gideon Zalalam, another one. What happened to this guy? This guy was the next big thing. Pretty sure somebody's got his name on a jersey somewhere. And
probably.
And just nothing. I mean, Brad Stewart, they don't need another outside back. They just signed a backup goalkeeper, actually, so they don't really need him.
Yeah. One thing that I thought was interesting was, when midseason, when they got rid of Matrita, I wasn't sure if it was a sale or if it was a loan. But he's on the roster here, so I assume it's a loan, which to me is probably the most confusing move of the entire season.
Yeah, I think it's got to be a 2-year loan option to buy because there's no way they're going to let him go at that point.
But just why? He was your probably best player at that point in the season, and then you just got rid of him out of the blue.
And you can't even say like he was homesick. The dude's Romanian and he went to Saudi Arabia.
I guess he was money sick.
I would be. I mean, listen, you're playing on a baseball stadium. You can get paid 3 times more to play on an actual pitch.
You mean you wouldn't want to play in Yankee Stadium?
If I am a random European dude who's getting recruited to play in MLS, and some guys came up to me and said, "You get to play in the best baseball stadium in the history of the MLB." My first question is, don't we play soccer? Don't we play soccer? Second half is underway here, and it looks like what's that?
I said not on my screen.
Oh well, I'm about a minute in here, and Minnesota's already got a corner, so they came out on the front foot and are starting pretty strong here.
Yeah.
Orlando City. What's that?
I know. I was gonna say I feel like that's what they need to do. Minnesota's gotta, the halftime kind of calms things down. They gotta come out of the second half and just fire off and try to grab another goal now before Seattle starts to get things settled a little bit and start, pushing like they did at the end of the last half. Because if it's a whole half of Seattle pushing like that, then you have to feel like they're gonna find something at
some point, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And here you got Dawson on the ball pushing really high up the field, and now you've got 8 people in front of the ball. If they go quickly, they're beat. While this is going on, let's talk Orlando City really quick.
Sure.
4 people not coming back. Josue Coleman, who was a DP, I believe, back when they were not good, got loaned out like 4 times as a DP and is now not on the team. Cool. That's very Orlando of them. That is the end of the That's So Orlando move. Alex Dion has never been a good center back for them, just kind of a body. Santiago Patino, first round pick 2 years ago, I believe. Yes, they took him at 3 in front of a lot of I remember this pick because he's a guy out of USF, so they saw a lot of him, but there were like 4 or 5 strikers on the board who were rated above him, and they took him anyway, and he was supposed to fall like the second round. And then Rubinho from Columbus at one point is now out as well, and Dom Dwyer out of contract.
And I was gonna mention him. Yeah, Dom Dwyer's out. He'll get picked up by somebody. I don't know who.
I wouldn't be shocked if he goes back to England and tries to play there.
You think so?
I would play if I'm him, I'd play lower level England. Go play Championship England.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. You get the shot to, if you do well there, you go to a higher championship team and then sneak into the Prem.
Yeah,
probably better than being a backup in MLS.
Yep. Philadelphia Union. 3 people not exercised. Warren Craval, Mishi Ingalia, Andrew Wooten. Nobody got major minutes. Joe Bendick, Aurelian Collin, both out of contract but in negotiation. Everybody else coming back from the reigning Supporter Shield winners. These guys are going to be good again.
Yeah, I mean, they're young. They're only going to get better.
Yeah.
When does Aronson leave?
He'll go in January. So
January.
Okay.
So
but his brother, he's actually not even on this roster.
Yeah, I noticed that.
But his brother.
Looking for him for a second, I only saw his brother.
Yeah. Minnesota.
So then I guess he's gone then. That you know what? That changes things. I mean, that's a big piece that they're losing.
Yep. Yeah. I'd like to see how they replace that. I'm sure they're going to use one of their open spots to pick somebody up there. You know who didn't play as big of a role as I thought he was going to?
Fontana.
Matej Oravec. Remember that? Remember we were talking about he was supposed to be the huge signing for these guys. And I don't remember hearing his name once in the post MLS is back tournament phase.
Well, I mean, if your team's clicking on all cylinders and he's not a part of it, then
I wouldn't put him there either. And I'm sure he understood that and is not trying to force a move at all.
Right. I mean, when I Googled him, he was listed as a center back or a defensive midfielder. I'm not sure where they would play him, but I feel like both of those positions are pretty, hard to break into right now in Philly.
Yep, I completely agree. The one thing I've noticed just watching the first 5 minutes of this game is you're not getting it's very individualistic in Seattle right now. You're putting Ladero on the ball and hoping he can find some space to do something. You got to start combining a little bit. And there's what we were talking about before, just on that play there. You're getting Jordan Morris playing more wide than he was in the first half to go one-on-one against these outside backs, try and create and put the ball on the floor for Rui Diaz. And that you're going to see a lot more success out of that than trying to bump Roldan high to try and get in there. That's a great tackle. Wait, no. That's a bad ball, Kevin. Bad ball. Portland. I don't think we talked about Portland.
Nope. Not
Chris
a lot
Duval,
happening in Portland.
Chris Duval, Aaron Flores. Not Aaron. I'm sorry, Andre.
I was gonna say Aaron.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, you got the A right. It's close enough.
Yeah. Duval, former Red Bull, love the guy. Hope he finds another team, lands on his feet, because he is a serviceable outside back. Flores doesn't do much for me. Marco Farfan is gone to LAFC, so they extended his contract and sold his ass. Nice. Felipe Mora was hold on.
Well, he's in negotiations.
Yes, Roldan's playing pass. And on. He's offside. He's offside by a million miles. Felipe Mora loan expired, but backing, I'd be shocked if they don't get him back for at least another loan year after what happened. And then Mabiala, who is out of contract, is also in conversations. I would be shocked if he doesn't come back as well.
Uh-huh.
RSL we talked about. San Jose
we did not.
We did not talk about. I posted about them on Instagram, but Vaco gone, Kasia gone, and then Luis Felipe gone. But Wando out of contract and Danny Hosen out of contract. And of all of that, they extend a contract to Daniel Vega.
I was waiting for you to
Rui Diaz has scored, but there is some controversy here.
Going to take me a bit to get there.
So the ball gets played over the top. Rui Diaz is running past him, knocks the center back down, no call, runs on through and slots home. But you know VAR is going to get involved here.
Uh-huh.
Roldan just kind of dinks it over the top. Oh, yeah, that's definitely a foul. In the back, knocks Boxall straight over, and he finishes very nicely. But that's got to be a foul.
Are they taking a look?
I'm not sure. They're still showing the highlights, but everybody says it should be a foul. I'd be very shocked if it's not brought back. VAR is having a look at it.
That is a very nice finish, but yeah, I want to see if I can see that again.
Rui Diaz is taking a trip over to the VAR.
He wants to look
taking
himself.
a look at it, and he just ran across the field. Elfat comes in, no goal, foul. Good call there. Absolutely the right call. And there's no bias in that. I would love to see this game go into extra time, but definitely a foul. Comes in, ball going over the top, and he makes no attempt to get in front of him. He just knocks him over and slots home. So good decision. And now they're making Brian Spencer talk on. This is such awful timing. I hate it. But you're gonna see. Here we go. Now you see you got Nuhu attacking in. You got Jovan Jones attacking in. They're about to send everybody and their brother up. Get it? Because the Roldan brothers. They're sending everybody up here now to try and get involved. So.
Yeah, I mean, that might be the point where Seattle just are like, okay, it's basically like they got scored on. This is the point where they can just turn it on, and they're just going to hard press for the rest of the game.
Yep, you can go ahead and push as hard as you can and see what happens. Back to San Jose while this game's going on. They still brought back Daniel Vega. That pisses me off. You could take his whatever you're paying him, sign 2 players who are just as good, if not better than him, and still have Emi Ochoa, the 16-year-old 5'4" guy or 6'4" guy, and go with him. But whatever.
You think they'd go without Marcinkowski?
No, but if Marcinkowski goes down, you just sign this 15-year-old to a contract for a reason, not because you want to make statements, right?
Right.
Oh, Seattle are buzzing now, man. They are all over the pitch.
Yeah,
Attack
I mean,
Ozzy. Yep,
Minnesota's
they're about to
like,
push.
yeah.
They want to get a
I
goal.
agree with that.
They want to get a goal before the 75th minute. They don't want to wait until the last 15 to do something.
Yeah, and I think Minnesota's got to try to do something on the other end here. I mean, they can't just absorb this pressure for the whole game. I mean, maybe they can. Who knows? But it's risky to just absorb this for the rest of the game.
That's the perfect phrase. It's very risky to try that. And that's all the teams, by the way. We have now gone through another set of teams to talk about their roster decisions. So back to the game.
I did not know about the Farfan deal. That's an interesting one.
Yes, that was announced a couple days ago. LAFC sent like $250K in GAM.
Listen, they need help in the defense, so
They do, and that's probably why they let Nahar go, is because they had that move lined up, right?
right.
Minnesota have to get out of their end here. They're trying to possess their way through, and it is sketch. Yep, that's a turnover that Seattle needs. They can keep the ball.
I feel like Minnesota have all the tools to win this game, but if they lose this, I almost feel like it's going to be because of the coaching. Like I just feel like the game plan is what's going to let them down in the end because they got too passive after they scored.
These guys are not used to playing in games like this, right? They're not used to big games that'll get them to bigger games, right? So I wonder what sub would you make here to try and alleviate some of this pressure, right? And to me, you've got Jose Aja in the back.
Mm-hmm.
What other attacking players are we looking at here?
I mean, you have Chacon on the bench.
Do you really want to bring in Chacon in a game like this?
Probably not.
Definitely not.
I don't know. Maybe you can go Kai up top.
Rui Diaz is in behind, squares it back, falls to Jordan Morris, takes a touch, and they're out. Can we counter quickly? Can we go quickly? Go on, Emmanuel. Jan, get going. Plays a big switch over to Lude. 1v1. Good. Keep moving. See, and this is where you're going to find that issue now, right? Because Seattle know they need to score, but also not get scored on.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as they lose the ball, they're going to send everybody back and just flood that area to win the ball. And I'm very interested to see what the attack plan is. That's a really nice ball, Jones. Right? Because if you're going to start flooding players backwards, you're going to be able to put your foot on the ball and keep it. But if you're going to go fast, you got to go fast.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go fast and then put your foot on the ball and then make a decision. It needs to be either you're going to keep it or you're going to go. And Minnesota continue to seem to be stuck in this middle ground of should I go? Should I keep it? What should I do? I don't know.
Right, a little too indecisive.
Exactly. Oh, I would take Robin Lodoff. Robin Lodoff, and I'd put in Kai Kamara and let Kai Kamara just body Gomez Andrade for the last 30 minutes of this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he can try to hold the ball up, keep some possession for Minnesota.
Well, and that's what they're missing right now. That is what they're missing. Is they're trying to play to Robin Lode, and Andrade is just like, "What's up, baby? I'm gonna take this from you because it's candy," and he's taking candy from a baby, right? See how I did that? That was clever.
I wish that they had a little more speed that they can bring on from the bench just to counterattack, but I don't see any really.
Yep. There's not much there, but what they can do, as we spoke about in the first half, especially because they're going to put all this pressure on you now, you're going to get that turnover, and you can either dump it long and hope Robin Lod can chase it down, or you can use Kai Kamara as your target, play to him, and play off of him. And that's what they should do. I would probably make, because he's also better in the air than Robin Lod too, right? So you can play him, and also Debasi is getting a yellow here for a tactical foul on Rui Diaz after he turned him at midfield. Probably a good call there. When you start giving away corner kicks and stuff like that, you can put Kamara in, and he can deal with it a lot better than Lod can. He's very good in the air, very strong aerial threat defensively and attacking, and it's something that you can. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not implemented right now. That's correct, Stu Holden. This is too slow from Seattle. Seattle needs to go quicker, and again, it's too individual. They're trying to move the ball, but there's not enough off-ball movement where it's just saying, hey, dribble up and find something later. Because you got Nico Ladero trying to float and find that space, and he's just not getting there, and that's an awful pass from Andrade. Go home. Don't force that up the line. Turn it back. Go play home, because now you're beat on a counter because you're poor decision-making. Play home. Keep possession of the ball there. Christian Roldan's on the ball. Ladero. See, this is better. Out of Seattle, this is better. Moving the ball quickly, crosses, field switches, possession, top of the box. João Paulo, awful decision. Awful decision, trying to dump that ball over the top. Stu Holden making some decent points here, which is rare. I'm not a big fan of Stu Holden. I think we all know that. But he's right. There isn't enough penetrating movement, which doesn't threaten the defenders of Minnesota, right? If people aren't getting in behind you, you're not worried. If you can keep them in front of you all day, then allow it. I'll let you possess in that 30 yards, and if you can beat my goalkeeper on a one-touch shot from 30 yards out, tip of the cap to you, buddy. Good job. But if you're not getting in behind them, they're not worried. Fuera Ruega. Yep, there it is. So he's right. You need to see more movement out of – because Ladero is trying to drop off the ball, pick it up, and swing it and move it and whatever. What you need him to do is maybe start running past Rui Diaz, right? I know you want him to be a playmaker, but let's see if we can run past him, let João Paulo move forward or Christian Roldan move forward and become that playmaker, and just move pieces. It's too static, right? It's too much of the four defenders staying in the same spot every time because there's nobody getting in behind them. And once nobody gets in behind them, boom, they're in the same shape every time that ball drops in. They're, okay, just keep everybody in front of us. Nobody's making cross runs. Nobody's switching. It's just, all right, let's just stand here and see what happens. Get back.
Oof. All right, so same question, but for Seattle.
Oh, Morris rips a left-footed shot from the top of the 18, and it strikes the corner of the goal frame and comes out. Oh, what a tying goal that would have been.
Man, that'll be exciting to see in a minute.
And they're pressing Seattle, and they're going to win the ball. Oh, no, he kept it in. Well done, Jovan Jones. What was your question? Sorry.
What change does Seattle make at this point?
Will Bruin. You're gonna
That's what I
start
was thinking too.
you're gonna start dumping balls in there. I take Jobin Jones out, throw Will Bruin up top, and then Ladera out wide. Do like a two cam thing.
Uh-huh.
I'd probably bring on Brad Smith too for Newhook. Brad Smith was one of the best attacking fullbacks in MLS last year with the way he was providing service into Rui Diaz, Bruin, Morris, all those players. So I'd bring him in as an attacking threat as well, or even for Alex Roldan. I think he's been absolutely awful this game.
God, that sucks.
Yeah, that's strike.
Yeah.
So I'd look at Brad Smith. Brad Smith first and Will Bruin, or if not both of them.
Man, this is going to be a nervy end of the game if you're a Minnesota fan.
Oh yeah. If you're in Minnesota and you're 20 minutes away from your first MLS Cup, it ain't going to be an easy one, that's for sure.
Uh-huh.
It's over. Debasi has scored again. Let's go off a free kick from who else? Emmanuel Reynoso, the best free kick taker in the league, drops it on a dime for my buddy Debasi to nod on, score the goal, and put us 2-0 up. Let's go, my son. Come on.
And that's the goal they needed. That's what they needed.
This is awful. This is awful. And we talked about who is that? Is that Nuhu? It's Nuhu. We talked about maybe making that sub earlier. Nuhu just lets Debasi run right in front of him, and he's got 3 inches on him, beats him to the ball, flicks it on, and just nods it back stick.
Man, that Morris off the post is just brutal.
And that's how it works, right? That's always how it works. You're going to ring the bar. 3 minutes later, they're going to come up the field and score. Got to take your chances, boys. Got to take your chances. All right, now we got to see it out. Now, what do we do here? If I'm Minnesota now, I'm putting Kamara in. And I'm going to take Ethan Finley out, and I'm going to put Jose Aja in with 10 minutes to go. If it's still 2-0, I'm going to do that. And again, I'm putting Brad Smith in if I'm Seattle because I need service from the wings yesterday.
Yeah, I think even more so now, Minnesota are going to pack it in. So, but honestly, maybe that feels like the way to go, just because Seattle can't seem to break them down at all.
Yeah. I will be right back. I need to run to the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
All right, we are back. 20 minutes left. Seattle pushing. Corner kick.
Yeah. Did you catch any of the substitutions, or did you miss them?
I missed him. What is it?
So Kai came on for Finley.
Yep.
And I believe Brad Smith and Leardom came on for Seattle.
I was going to say Leardom as well, but I like Brad Smith better than Leardom, but that's just me. But yeah, they need better service. Their attacking is fine, but Roldan was awful, and Nuhu is just not. He's just a tank. He's not a skilled technical outside back. He's just a tank. So
Uh-huh.
and there it is. That's the Kai Kamara stuff that we needed. Holding up Shane O'Neill, keeping the ball, running it down the field, and getting better field position. That is what Ethan Finley could not do, or Robin Lod could not do when he was in that position. They moved Robin Lod back outside, and now it's just Kamara up top. But that is what you need. You need a big body to do stuff like that, and that's what that sub is right there.
They should have
Now,
brought on Brad Smith like at halftime, honestly.
they
Like,
should have probably started. They should have started Leardom. I don't know why Alex Rodon is in the starting lineup, but
yeah, I don't know. Maybe there was something. Maybe Leardom had some injury that he couldn't go the full game, but
it
I don't
had to.
know. I don't understand why he wouldn't start him either.
Jordan's got to go. Jordan is way too wide now. Now you're bringing in Brad Smith. Brad Smith is going to push up the field, try to get in that attacking area. Jordan Morris does not need to be anywhere near the sideline. He needs to get forward, get in the box, and be dangerous. I don't need you.
I mean, if you keep him out wide, that's too many guys out wide. I mean, Smith is going to cover the space. You don't need Morris and Smith to be in the same area.
Man.
I think Lod is the next to go off, probably for Aha or another defender is my guess.
Hit it, Joe. Why is Jovan Jones still on the field, by the way? He's
Because they haven't brought on Will Bruin.
Again, all right, so it looks like they're bringing on Will Bruin for it has to be Jovan Jones. You can't keep Jovan Jones on this field. Seattle's going to score a goal here. They're definitely going to score a goal.
Yeah, I mean, it'll make it a really tense end of the game, I'm sure.
Yeah. João Paulo? João Paulo coming off. That's interesting. Because now what you're doing is saying, okay, forget winning the midfield battle. We're just going to throw everything forward. But I never liked this move because once you lose that midfield, it's over. I would have taken Jovan Jones, bumped Ladero out wide, and pushed maybe Roldan more as a center attacking mid and let Ladero create from the wing.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle's just trying to cross the ball. It feels like almost every time they go down the field.
But what does Jovan Jones give you in center midfield?
Oh, no, yeah, I don't
Nothing.
think that they should have taken off Jones for Bruin, but in my video that hasn't happened yet.
Ladero plays out on the wing, inverted, and you put Christian Roldan as that true center midfielder to pull the strings because he can. Let João Paulo sit behind him and just clean everything else up. Don't like that sub. Not a fan of that sub.
Nice little tumble from Kai.
Yeah, very athletic. That's a
Somersault.
great touch, Rui Diaz. Rui Diaz is on the ball. Will Bruin has scored. Will Bruin has scored a goal.
No, man, imagine you brought him in before the 70th minute.
Oh, ridiculous. So ball gets played over the top. Again, this is what we talk about. You need to win the ball in the air on the first shot. Second ball you can worry about later, but you need to challenge for the first one. Doesn't happen. Falls to Rui Diaz's feet. Great first touch. Puts a shot on goal. It gets blocked. Falls right to Bruin. Bruin side volleys it right in the goal.
Game on.
Bang. Game on. This is going to be fun. All right. So now what do you do, right? So now you are. To be fair, Minnesota hasn't done the whole park the bus, take away every attacking option thing. So they've still got their shape where they can go forward if they need to. But 2-0, most dangerous lead in football, right? So
Yeah.
how? And there it is, right there. That is what we were asking for in the 60th minute. Kai Kamara, ball gets played in the air. Kai Kamara goes up and wins it over Gomez Andrade. And that's something that Lud just couldn't do all day.
Uh-huh.
And that's huge. That's really good.
Man, that's unlucky for Minnesota.
Oh, yeah. Gustav Svensson coming in for Jovan Jones. Okay. So now you're going to push. So now you're probably going to move. You're going to put Roldan high, Svensson low.
Uh-huh.
That'd be my guess. It has to be Svensson playing the low, and
That's what I was thinking too.
it has to be. Ladero's still central, though, so. Ozzy, that touch is not good enough, Ozzy. Now you're beat. Now it's 2v2. What is going on here? This is why we don't let Ozzy Alonso go in front of the attacking third. This is why we keep him back and just make him make tackles all day. Ball gets played in. Really good combination play from Reynoso into Kamara, laying it off to Ozzy Alonso, who all he needs to do is put one touch, and it's through into Molino, I think was up there maybe. I can't tell who it was, but he takes a 19-yard first touch and gets it taken away. All the outside backs are pushing high, and they're countered, and it's over. Luckily, they dealt with it, but it's that type of stuff that you got to be careful with. Oh, Kevin, that's cheeky. Why did Rui Diaz wait until the 60th minute to start playing? He's been so dangerous the last few minutes.
Oh. Man, the last 10 minutes is going to be parking the bus for Minnesota.
Yeah, but Seattle has no more subs.
Oh, that's bad.
Until extra time. Why is nobody challenging for that ball? It's not good enough. Go home, Chase. Good, that's fine. This is going to be a fun 12 minutes, man. Oh, Reynoso, why are we forcing that there? Give it one more. Give it one more. Kevin, not good enough, bro. Good play from Reynoso trying to blindly backheel that ball into Kai Kamara. Kai Kamara lays it into an overlapping Kevin Molino, who rolls the ball into the arms of a waiting Stephen Fry when he could have played it out wide to Ludd and done something else with it. Seattle, oh no, DeBasi, that's not good. Oh man, you got lucky. Ball got played in, and DeBasi went to clear it and missed it, and it went right to Rui Diaz, who played it into I believe it was Will Bruin, and Will Bruin got it taken away. Then Gasper went in and made that tackle on, it looks like Christian Roldan. They're both down in a lot of pain. Trainers are coming on. So there's a little bit of a dead period here. Let's see what happens. I wonder if VAR's going to go into this. Oh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Molino definitely should have went out wide.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? VAR could come in and give a penalty here. It'd be very, very harsh. But Roldan wins the ball here and then is taken out by Gasper.
Are they looking?
I wonder. I'm not sure. There's an injury, so the trainers are coming on, but I'm not sure what they're seeing.
Yeah, I just saw the collision.
Watch it in slow mo. The referees are going to have to make a big decision here. Elfath is saying no foul. I think it'd be harsh if they gave that. I'd be honest with you. I think it's harsh if they gave that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it'd be harsh to give that. I would not be shocked if they did, but it would be harsh to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
.9 minutes, 8 minutes left, plus my guess a lengthy bit of stoppage time. Jordan Morris with a burst of speed, but shots blocked. Play on no referee. No, that's not a foul, sir. Kevin Molino just sidesteps a guy. He falls down. He calls him for a foul for putting a hand on his shoulder. Close it down. No service. Good. Rui Diaz takes a shot, but Dwayne St. Clair. Is it Dwayne or Dane? Dane. Dane St. Clair. I think it's Dane. Well, anyways, he makes a nice easy save, collapses on the ball, slows the game down just a little bit. I think Seattle's got one more in them. I think this game is going to go to extra time.
Man, it would be very MLS 2020 for Seattle to score really late.
93rd minute?
Oh God. If this goes to extra time, I'm going to bed.
No, it is Dane St. Clair, by the way. And you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't leave that.
I don't know. I feel like Minnesota will hold on to this.
Brett Smith taking up the wing. Morris, why are you so far outside? Oh, that's such a bad decision. Ladero has a great first touch to play Rui Diaz. Rui Diaz turns and does like a half shot, half chip pass that just rolls to St. Clair's feet. Kamara, you got to be on the center back there. You can't just let him get free headers there. Good, Grey Goose. Well won. Well, that foul there. Yeah, well done. Slow it down. Play the clock. Be smart. Be smart. Oh, Reynoso, so good. Great ball. Alonso, stop going forward. You're not good enough to do that. Literally, watching him dribble is like watching a deer on ice. He's like, I don't know where to go. Just pass the ball and run back to defense, will you? Back to where you belong. Good, Hassani. Oh, no. Oh,
What?
no. Oh, Bruin's not that fast. Oh, wait, Bruin is that fast. Oh, Bruin's not that good, though. All right. Another one where Ozzy gets caught too high up the field. Ball goes over his head. It falls to the feet of Rui Diaz. Rui Diaz combines, plays Will Bruin through, and Will Bruin plays a bad through ball, and there's now a free kick for Seattle. But Again, know the score, Ozzy Alonso. Stop going forward. Sit back. You got 5 minutes plus stoppage time. Just defend and kick the ball away. Kai Kamara, that's what we have him there for. Winning defensive headers. Yeah.
Kai Kamara, the center back.
Oh, I play Kai Kamara at center back right now. If they throw Shane O'Neal up top, if Shane O'Neal ends up going high, I'd absolutely throw Kai Kamara back there with him.
Oh, man, if that was Morris, that might be a tie game.
Yeah. Four minutes of stoppage. Come on, boys. Come on. Up the Loons. Loons to the Yoffs. Loons to the MLS Cup final. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Kai Kamara is so good in the air. I forgot Seattle won it last year.
Yeah. They win it a lot.
Yeah, it's like you never know what year they win it because they're always in it. It's just a matter of do they win. Oh my God, what a ball, Jordan Morris. Too bad nobody has a first touch on the outside wing there, but my goodness, an outside of the foot kind of like banana ball right onto the foot of Mr. Leardom over there. What a ball.
Seattle has 17 shots, but has less shots on target than Minnesota.
It's all about what you can make count, baby.
I know. It just feels like they're just firing everything that they can. I mean, it feels like they're just crossing all the time.
Yeah.
And then Will Bruin comes on and you see some more through balls.
Yeah, because that's what you want to do with Will Bruin. Right through. All right, Dawson out for a throw. You got 2 minutes plus stoppage time. Come on, boys. Man, imagine we were doing this for like a Red Bull game. I'd be so hyped.
Oh, God. This would be brutal.
Jordan Morris had a free shot on goal, turned around and laid it off to Christian Roldan or Gustav Svensson. I have no idea why. It's a corner kick from Ladero. Everybody up. It's backstick. Rui Diaz. He scored. Rui Diaz has scored in the 90th minute. Oh, my goodness. What is going on?
Go to bed.
No, you're not seeing. What did I tell you? Why did he start playing in the 60th minute?
He likes a dramatic game.
Oh, it's your fault. You said you wanted to go to bed. Off the corner kick, ball gets flicked on to an unmarked Rui Diaz. How that happens, I have no idea. The only striker in the box, it looks like it's Dawson again. Dawson has missed both his marks. Every corner that has happened, he has missed both of his marks. Ball gets played in, and Rui Diaz does what Rui Diaz does. Slots that thing home. It is 2-2 in the 90th minute. We told you, 2-0. Most dangerous lead in football.
Yeah.
I can't believe that
Minnesota got so comfortable. I mean, once they were up 2-0, I've seen the ball in Seattle's half like 2 minutes of that time, honestly.
But the game is not over. You still have Kai Kamara and his magic.
True, but Seattle have all the momentum right now.
They do. 4 minutes of stoppage time. Oh, don't do this to me. I don't want to see Seattle in another final. Can you imagine seeing Seattle in another final? Like, as you might as well just bring Toronto back and throw them there too,
Yeah, it's like the Warriors and the Cavs.
or the Patriots and the Giants or whatever. Oh
Listen,
God,
you got to tip your cap to them. I mean, they do such a good job there.
they do. They really do.
I know they win a lot, but I have no gripe with Seattle. They get good players, they get the most out of their players, they have really good coaches, and they deserve the success that they have.
Yep.
And they don't do like an LA. They don't go out and buy the splashy big name. Like they get the more underrated guys. Like I wonder how many guys knew who Nico Lodero was before he came to MLS or Rui Diaz.
I knew the name. I knew Rui Diaz from FIFA. I didn't.
Right.
I knew Nico Ladero from actual like Boca, but I
Right.
knew Rui Diaz from FIFA. I didn't know any
But
of
then
them.
you look at like the Galaxy who are like, all right, we're gonna bring in Chicharito, we're gonna bring in Zlatan. Like these are household names that almost anybody that follows the league will know.
Oh no, not Rui Diaz again. Oh my God, he's hit the post. Rui Diaz hit the post.
Oh my
Jordan
God.
Moore is
Come
playing
on,
provider.
Raul.
Jordan Moore is playing provider. Holds the ball up, lays it off to Rui Diaz. He takes a touch, has a hit. It's deflected off of a defender and off of the post.
Oh,
Unreal.
He could have sent me to bed with the right score prediction too.
Oh, I know.
Oh man, see, Minnesota got to hold on, pray for extra time because they're just not doing anything in terms of
Jordan Morris
attacking.
has the ball in the box. Jordan Morris has the ball in the box. Get it away. Get to extra time, boys. Kai, you got to be on a center back, Kai. Why are you standing next to Reynoso? He's not going to help you. Get on Andrade and don't let him win a ball. That's the only reason you're on the field. Jordan Morris.
Oh, that was so close.
Jordan Morris holds the ball up again, turns in the box, and has a shot blocked. It's for another corner. It's going to be an in-swinger from Ladero. 1 minute to go. Ladero swinging the ball in. Gustav Svensson has scored. Gustav Svensson has scored.
Oh, no, he did.
Seattle have done it again. You've got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. Minnesota have crumbled under the pressure. You have got.
God, I can't wait to see this.
No way. Off the in-swinging corner, Svensson rises highest, nods it back stick, and it's 3-2 Seattle. You've got to be kidding me.
Oh, my God.
It's always got to be Svensson. He's always got to score the big one. I can't believe they scored 3 unanswered in the last 15 minutes.
2 off corners, too.
2 off of corners. Somebody marked their die. Who got beat again? Oh, let me guess. It's Dawson for the 3rd time tonight. He can't win a.
No, was it really?
Yes. Make him.
Oh, my God.
This guy better be cut, bro. I don't want to see him on this team ever again. Win a header, bro. Challenge for something. Bum. It is over extra time.
Did you say extra time?
The added time is
Oh, okay.
fast.
Well, they'll extend it a little bit.
Cleared hella deep.
Wow. I don't even know what to say.
Schoenfield is on for load. 30 seconds over the time, but there's going to be extra. Kamara! And that is it. That is it.
Oh.
Seattle have come back in the most improbable finish in the entire.
Wow.
Again, how can you rightfully justify going back to a 2-legged system after things like this?
Oh, no, you can't. You can't.
This is that heartbreaking.
Oh, my God.
Minnesota are heartbreaking, man. God.
I 100% stick by what I said. I feel like if they coached this game better, they don't blow this lead. But they got so defensive.
Ugly dude. Sorry.
They got so defensive that they just did nothing the rest of the game. And Seattle's way too good to not get goals if you're just going to let them attack all game.
You're right. You're right. This was the wrong. So here's the thing. I think it's a combination. I don't think it was designed. I don't think that's by design. I don't think Minnesota said, all right, for 45 minutes, we're going to sit in. I think that's Brian Smetzer saying, hey, go out and win this game. Go put as much pressure as you can on these guys. And they just couldn't get out of their box. I think in the last 15 minutes when they went up 2-0, they did. Could they have put another player like Aha in? Probably. I would have. I think Minnesota put one more in there, one more center back in there who can win a ball in the air. But here's the thing. You put Kai Kamara in there to win headers. Where was he on all this? You're playing a zone mark, and he's just nowhere to be found. And then every time you clear the ball up, instead of being in the center of the field where you're supposed to be trying to win the ball, he's hanging on the sideline having a chat with the bloody photographer. I don't know. He's got to be in the center of the field, making sure that Andrade cannot win a ball. That's his only job on the field. If I'm watching this tape tomorrow as a Seattle or as a Minnesota Loon, that is exactly what I'm telling him. I go, why are you not on the center back? Your only job is to stay on that dude right there and win the ball every time. It's just I don't know what was going on. I think maybe they got caught up in the heat of the moment, but I guess we're seeing Seattle in another final. Yippee. Bloody brilliant. Can't wait.
You sound super excited about that.
Man, Loons to the – you know what? It's my fault. It's my fault. I early sellied. I said Loons to the MLS Cup final. I early sellied. It's my fault.
No. It's my fault because I don't miss predictions in this playoff.
You know it is your fault. You absolutely wrong.
I hope you add this one to the list because I'm really curious to see what my track record's been.
You gotta have like at least 20-25% of them like dead on.
I'm pretty sure I've only missed like 2 or 3 games.
It is Seattle versus Columbus in the MLS Cup final this Saturday at 8 p.m. on Fox. We'll have to go live for that again. Get Adam back here, go live for it again.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. If it's anything like this game, it's going to be exciting.
Oh, it's going to be fun. That's so frustrating, bro. DeBasi needs to put on like 15 more pounds of muscle, learn how to jump and win a ball in the air because that 3 times. He lost the ball in the air 3 times. They scored 3 goals. Game over. Not good enough. Ike Opara, where you at, my guy?
He's coming.
This hurts almost as bad as the Red Bull loss.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was so hyped for the Loons. They were my next team. So now I have to pick either Seattle for the 1900th time in the last 4 years, or I have to pick the Crew. And I don't want to pick the Crew, so I have to support Seattle.
Yeah, I mean, hard to bet against Seattle right now.
I mean, even if I'm not even saying bet on, just support. Like, who do I want to win? I can't pick the Crew. The Crew knocked this out.
I don't know. I guess I would cheer for the Crew just to see Nagby win another one.
Fair. All right.
Oh,
and
midnight. Second place in the Golden Boot, but
second place in the Golden Boot. All right, it's almost midnight. I'm done here. We've probably been talking for close to 3 hours now, 2.5, 3 hours. So thanks to everybody who tuned in for however long you were here. We're gonna post this video and audio on all of our social medias and our normal podcast areas anyway. So make sure you're taking a look for those. Follow us on all forms of social media so then you can see the next time we go live. We'll be sharing it all over the place. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Follow us wherever you get podcasts. Connor, you got anything else to say?
Tune in next time for another one of my new scarves.
Tune in next time for another one of his new scarves and hopefully an incorrect prediction if we're all lucky. That's everybody.
I don't think so.
Nah, I doubt it either. Thanks for watching. Anybody who's been here, the one person who's watching with us, thanks, man. Thanks for being here. Check out the full video and audio when we get it up on Wednesday at 7 p.m. And we will see you next time on another live episode of the Designated Players Podcast. See ya.